Abram lived in Ur of the Chaldees. You can see it there on the map, way down in Ur, there just above the Persian Gulf. And God called him from there. He traveled with his family, including his father, to Haran, which would have been up north from there, close to around where the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers begin. And so he traveled up there. He was there a few years, and then the call comes again. He was there about 5 years, and then Abram has this call of God. His father dies, and he packs up, leaves his family, takes Lot, his nephew, takes his wife and his servants, and they travel over in to the land of Canaan. Now, there's some famine in the land of Canaan. They go down to Egypt for a little bit, and then they travel back up, and he pitches his tent near Bethel. And if we could show the map up there, we'll see, and you can draw on your map again, draw a little man down there around Ur with his hiking boots on, and he's going to travel up there to where the Tigris and the Euphrates go together, and then he journeys back down, and he's going to settle in the land of Canaan, there just a little bit north of Jerusalem. Now, Abram's name means exalted father. Exalted father. And it appears that Abram has it all. I mean, Abram has a beautiful wife. She is what we would call elderly. All right? When Abram receives his call, she's probably 60 years old. And when he journeys down into Egypt, she's now 65, maybe a little bit older than that. She is so beautiful that the king of Egypt wants her for a wife. As a matter of fact, he gives Abram a whole bunch of stuff, gives him animals and all kinds of these gifts, and because he said, she's my sister. She was his half-sister. Okay, and it was okay back then, all right, because gene pools were not so messed up like they are now. Now if you marry your half-sister, your child may have two heads. So we don't do that anymore. Back then, a little bit pure gene pool, and it was okay, and it was sanctioned by God, obviously. Everything could be okay. Now, later he's going to change the law, but right then it was okay. So he has his half-sister. He's afraid for his life, and so he uses a little bit of deception there to save himself. He said, you just tell everybody your sister, okay, so they don't kill me? She's a good wife. And Sarai, his wife, says, okay. Well, he ends up accumulating a lot of wealth because of that, and God just seems to bless him in spite of himself. And I think that's what happens to us. What do you think? That we are blessed in spite of ourselves. So here as Abram travels back up to the land of Canaan, he has a beautiful wife. He has many servants. And the Bible says that he was rich in livestock, in silver and gold. Genesis chapter 13, verse 2. He not only has all this, Abram is powerful. As a matter of fact, he and Lot have to separate because their herds became so huge that the land wouldn't sustain them. And so Lot was over here and Abram's up north, and all of a sudden Lot gets captured. There's these war between these kings. 5 kings fight against 4 kings, and the 4 kings whip them, and they take Lot captive with them. And all the spoil. And so Abram, here's what's going on, and he gathers up 318, and the Bible says, of his trained men. These are trained warriors that Abram has in his, I don't know how you say that, entourage? Entourage, is that the word we use today? Among his servants and the people that work for him and his slaves. And so 300, Abram, and he's like a general leading his men out to war, and they go out, they overtake these 4 kings, and they whip them, and they get Lot back, and they take the spoil. Then there's this great story in the Bible about Melchizedek. Has all kinds of application about Jesus, but we're going to have to just kind of go past that too. Remember to get the rest of the story.